See, to heck, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Bora, the Lucky Libra, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. Alright, as y'all can see by the title, we picking up the Debilitation series with the Leo Archetype. Alright, so before we get into it, y'all make sure to tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra, and y'all make sure to tap into my Patreon to dive in with me with some deeper analysis, celebrity synastry breakdown, monthly classes, and more. So let's get right into it. Shout outs to my beloved Leos. Alright, my lions and my lionesses. I fucks with the Leos. Me and Leos got a love and hate relationship. I got a love and hate relationship with y'all Leos. Alright? Cause I'm sextiled up with y'all with my sun. Alright? Even though my son got some Scorpio energy, I be sextiled up with y'all still with my Libra constellation. But then with that Aquarius in my first house and my strong Saturn energies and all that, and my strong Saturn energies with my moon and my rising, that's where me and the Leo will clash quick. That's where me and the Leo will clash quick, but goddamn we attract each other quick. So shout out to my Leos, man. One of the most enthusiastic, man, optimistic, positive, upbeat signs of the zodiac. And let's not forget creative, alright? Arguably the most creative sign in the zodiac. But when we look at the Leo archetype, this is fixed fire, ruled by the sun. So fixed energies are fixed, alright? They keep it in motion. Ain't really dealing with heavy transformation, even though Leo got some transformation up in there, got some transformation attributes in there though, alright? However, you know, dealing with that longevity. But with fire, with how it expresses itself, with how it deals with its visions, with how it makes a figure, a shape, a form, something we can see, something we can feel, based off of how it sees and feels things. Alright? We know fire is the push out. So, of the feeling, of the emotion, of the internal. So, when we got fixed fire here, ruled by the sun deals with, you know, that's the overall masculine energy. The sun brings awareness. The sun brings light. The sun has an appearance out this mother. Alright? When it's time to get our ass up in them Aries hours, 6 through 8 a.m., shit, could be in your deepest sleep. The sun gonna slap your ass early with some light. And guess what? It's consistent. Every day is gonna slap you with that light. And you gonna have to do what? You gonna have to do what when the sun slap you with some of that sunlight? You gonna have to pay attention to that motherfucker. Oh shit, it's a new day. It's a new day, we here. Alright? So, for the most part, this is what Leo's archetype is molded off of. The sun also deals with creativity too, because it gives life, it gives birth to things as well. And the Leo archetype have very consistent ways of how they want to be seen, of how they deal with expressing themselves. When Leos are dealing with how they see themselves being seen, they ain't letting up on that image. They not letting up on that potential. So Leos take their dreams from young ages, and most Leos are into what they into early in life. It's just levels of evolving that. So Leo could be into getting money since they was 9, shoveling snow, getting money. That was their consistent vision. They just wanted to get money and be able to have money buy just extra lunch food and clothes when they was younger. Son, I mean, when you're 9, you ain't really worried about clothes like that. It's different. I live in New York City. I grew up in New York City. It's a little different out here. You worry about shit like that when you're 9 and 10. But as the Leo is 14, 15, they might start selling shit in school now. Alright, selling shit in school. 18, 19, 20, selling shit in college. Then they older, start doing real estate. Like, so Leos be evolving with a fixed way of how they see themselves based off the alignments they came into the world with. Alright? Now, when we get into the debilitation, Saturn is debilitated here. Opposite energy here is Aquarius. Aquarius is fixed air, ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Uranus. So Saturn and Uranus is debilitated here. Now we know Saturn deals with limits, boundaries. We just did Cancer. Cancer has a debilitation of Saturn because it's opposite Capricorn. So look at how, and this is something I was coming into realization just taking notes for this, but look at how the overall feminine Cancer, the moon, and the overall masculine Leo, the sun, the 4th and the 5th house are opposite the external realm. The 10th house, right? How we organize forms of stability, how we deal with broadcasting ourselves, how we use our reputation, how people know us, and our social status to build and connect and network in some type of shape or form. And the 11th house, where Saturn is home. Both of Saturn's homes. The house that gave birth to Aquarius, dealing with how we actually network with the outside world, make something out of ourselves with our individuality, and cultivate that with communication with the outside realm and people we don't know. Social media, technology. So if you think about it, if you really think about it, a lot of your ups and downs when it comes to how you act and react to things in life are going to deal with forms of stability and reality overall, by default. By default. The way we deal with becoming comfortable in this world, and the way we deal with expressing ourselves in this world, and how we want to be seen and what we choose to be seen for, 4th and 5th house, a lot of that is going to be clashing with what we're experiencing in reality in that 10th and 11th house. So that's something I just came into realization, just really taking notes and understanding them opposites by default. Now, because you have to understand that the houses was manifested before the constellations. So when the constellations are given birth, they automatically have a relationship with the other zodiac signs based off the relationship of the houses. So the 1st and 7th house is naturally opposite. So when the 1st house gave birth to Aries and the 7th house gave birth to Libra, these signs is naturally opposite from each other by default. Alright, so when we look at Saturn dealing with reality, how we see reality, how we construct our reality. So with us doing that, it's going to deal with restrictions, limitations, boundaries. It's going to deal with us having to utilize time, patience, dealing with structure, order, authority. When we deal with all them energies, Saturn doesn't reflect light. It doesn't reflect light. Okay? So metaphysically speaking, that's just going to be that Saturn energy when it comes to like Capricorns, Aquarius is going to manifest into things dealing with creativity, things dealing with what people do want to put into the light, or how people want to be seen and how they look. It's like, oh, to Capricorn, Aquarius, they want to see the substance, what something's worth, what something's really made of, how much structure or stability something got. It don't matter what the appearance look like. It don't matter how somebody can express some shit. Alright? So and that's why these signs could be deflective to a lot of things when it comes to how people express themselves, or things people are upbeat and giddy and excited about, positive about. You might want to relax bringing that to a Capricorn and Aquarius. You might want to relax. You don't want to get your feelings hurt. You go bring that to a Pisces, go bring that to a Libra. All right, so they could, be in a high vibe about it with you, and not bring that shit down, because Saturn might not reflect that shit. So with this energy, with Saturn dealing with this, with Leo's dealing with this debilitation, alright, Leos, you guys could be uncomfortable, and it can be overwhelming when the Leo has to deal with forms of restriction, especially on any form of self-expression. Alright, so let alone Leo's already fire. Fire signs is already fire needs to be expressed. Needs to be expressed. You can't hold that in. Burn yourself. So that alone, Leo's fire signs don't like dealing with any form of confinement. Every one of them. And they all have energies in their archetype that make them really not want to deal with it. Because Saturn is debilitated in Aries. Excuse me, it's in its fall state in Aries, so they don't bang with Saturn. As we're talking about right now, Saturn's debilitating in Leo, and then when we get to Sagittarius, they rule by Jupiter. That's dealing with expansion. So that fire don't like it ain't no containing that or try to restrict that one neither. So with Leos, the way they see life as them. I just said earlier how Leos are fixed with the potential that they see themselves in. They're gonna evolve with it, but they be fixed on that early in life. The sun know what it wants. The sun ain't iffy. The sun come out, do what it do every day. We know the sun reputation. So, you know, here, once an authority or once somebody, it could be in the smallest degree of things. When somebody, it could be a Leo telling a joke and somebody trying to, a couple of people not laughing, and then somebody trying to play the Leo like the joke not funny. Like the Leo might have to target you, because it's like, why you got to be the one? This is more so talking about the debilitation of Uranus too, because that's dealing with an opposing energy. But we gonna stay with Saturn. But for the most part, once Leo starts feeling that deflection from the way it wants to express itself or be seen, or any limits with that, with self-expression, with how it sees things. If a Leo's growing up in a household where I was just talking to a Leo not too long ago, and they got a Scorpio mom, and it's actually somebody I did do a reading for, and they had Scorpio, I forgot, not Scorpio, I believe Pluto in the 4th house. I forgot what alignment was affecting the 4th house, but I remember them saying they had a Scorpio mom. So I'm just about to say, Leo's growing up in an environment where their form of expression is not accepted, or is not in an environment where it could blossom or evolve or be supported. Leo, like, you feel me? A Leo could grow with some resentment out this motherfucker, because that's too harsh for a Leo. That's their life. That's how they do. That's how they see their potential. They want to act and create that. They want to give birth to that. The sun give birth. So any form of restriction when it comes down to parents, teachers, siblings trying to put them down, when it comes to what they naturally creatively into, or what is it that they really are paying attention to early in life, something that really interests them, when they're around friends or whatever, be hating on that or be deflecting that, like that can make a Leo very uncomfortable. And you could get a nasty Leo. Leo start getting real nasty with you. It's hard to deal with rules and authority for Leos at times. That's a hard thing to deal with, period. Some Leos can play too much. Some Leos play too much. Coming out, being birthed out that 5th house energy. So it's like, the fact that y'all, rules and authority, y'all like, what's that? What's that? Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. What is a rule and authority? Like, how does that even align with creativity and creative expression? Ain't no rules to that. So so you see how they signs that's heavy into creativity. Not all of them is so much aligned with reality. All right. So it's a, like, okay, so you got Tauruses, you know, the 2nd house, they birthed out the 2nd house. That's a very creative influence there, and they are dealing with a sense of reality because they rule by Earth. But their Earth energies can clash with what is it that they creatively into, and they create their creative gifts. That can clash with that. All right, but that could be a whole nother breakdown. However, when we look at Leo's already struggling a little bit to deal with rules and authority. The Leo energy is already dealing with childlike activity, a youthful energy. So you got some Leos that they're gonna stay in that energy. They don't see life trying to bring that down. If anybody, it could play out as people that's trying to bring that energy down, trying to take them out of a childlike energy. That could come off as a threat. All right. Now you a hater, or you a blockage into me feeling the way I want to feel, or how I see myself. You feel me? So this could be very uncomfortable with Leos, and y'all can see nasty Leos, or they could, you know, lash out on you in different type of ways. That fire may lash out when you try to restrict fire in some type of way. But in this type of way with Leos, it has a lot to do with, you know, their persona and how they want to be seen. So things dealing with their reputation, you trying to throw a blemish on them not being funny when you know they're trying to be a comedian, them saying they can't play basketball when you know they got basketball aspirations, when you say like dumb things to a Leo, them forms of trying to restrict them in them type of ways, they could take that shit to the heart. So if they got a friend that be joking about that shit a lot, like hating jokes, y'all know them truthful jokes, Leos pick up on that shit quick. You feel me? Because that's like, once they see any pinch of Saturn, it's a radar. It's a radar going off for the Leo. Alright? And it's uncomfortable being around overly serious or practical individuals and environments. So people that be too goddamn serious, that need to ease up, be too tense, that could bring a Leo, that could make a Leo really want to get detached, or in some type of shape or form subliminally let you know that you really bringing my fucking vibe down. Like you never in no upbeat energy, you never trying to beam no sun off, you never light other you never are able to light other people up because you are in some type of you know, expressive or creative, positive type of influence to others. So Leos being in environments like that, super strict, cold, detached households, Leo risings have to experience a lot of that bullshit with Scorpio in the 4th house. Scorpio in that 4th house, y'all be having siblings or parents or certain relatives, whatnot, that be having that hater energy, and they be hating on you for things you ain't even know you that good at yet, because it's your natural personality, Leo, in the 1st house. It be things you just start getting attention for early in middle school, high school, some shit. You just now coming into the consciousness of what you good at by default. Things you get attention for, and relatives and shit hating on you. So that shit deep with Scorpio in the 4th house, literally. It shit deep. No Big Sean, no Lil Wayne, but like, anyways. Yeah, so Leo's being in serious ass environments like that's Leo can't. That's a debilitation. That's uncomfortable. It's like, nah, I gotta get out of here. And when you do things, like if you at work, you feel me, and it's not a place you want to be, but you like. You snuck an AirPod in your head, so you listen to music while you doing it. You feel me? You just staying in positive vibe, positive thoughts. You feel me? You cooperating with everybody in harmonious energy, trying to prevent any clashes at work. You start realizing, in comparison to people that may drag and be in a negative vibration and wait for time, they're watching time instead of acting through time. Dumb type of people, you gonna notice that to you may not feel like shit be that long. That the shift may not be as dreadful as it comes off to others. So Leos, take that analogy into Leos being active, being the sun, living life, experiencing, creatively expressing themselves, dealing with music, enlightening others, being in seeking environments to be inspired, dealing with what's popular, what's hot, what's trendy in the world. So it's like, with them being in that type of frequency vibration, once they get in any environment that plays out with them having to slow it down and place more time and confine that, especially when it ain't dealing with something they creatively into, it's like that is hell for a Leo. That is hell for a Leo. And this is why, another reason why Leos end up manifesting things dealing with spirituality, creativity, or something that their creativity, their friend or something that there was around was able to connect them to certain a resource for them to get into their own lane and what they're doing in their life. Because it's like Saturn deal with reality, stability, and building stability. So building stability and dealing with routine and time and patterns and working on things, that shit, Leos don't really be with that shit. Leos really don't be with work. They don't really deal with work. They just see things and want to create it and live that. So Leos have their ups and downs, with their career pursuits, especially if it's in motherfucking corporate America or some shit. But it's different because regardless, the potential of what they manifest is something that they can stay locked in on. But in some type of shape or form, they evolve in having to do their own creative own thing in the industry that they in. Because once they have too much Saturn energy on their head, too much restriction, and there's limits, somebody's always placing limits and ceilings on what they could do, that's uncomfortable for Leo, and they feel like they're not living. They can't even thrive in that business or whatever. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of them energies where Leos, you guys gonna struggle in career at times. It's hard to build stability because y'all don't really see reality like that, you know. So you got that energy there as well. How a Leo sees things often don't correlate with reality. Their visions can be detached from how others think. So yeah, the way the sun is gonna see things the way the sun sees things, period. It's fixed, all right. And you know, at times, just the way, just like I said with Cancer, is just the way you guys see reality at times could be a little opposing to others, cause y'all really be dealing with this, with y'all visions, and how y'all fire also be ahead of itself too, especially Aries, you know. But fire, period, it's dealing with more so with the future. So with the Leo way, it could be ahead of itself is with the potential of what the sun is creating or what it sees in a certain position in a career, relationship, or something, and assuming the results of something based off how it could express itself. So, you know, when you take that type of mindset into things dealing with career and more executive like things, with working with others, you know, more practical reality based environments, at times that could clash because it ain't about how you see things, Leo. It's about the realistic adjustments needed to be made. And it's just finding the gap between your creativity and being practical with it. That's really what it is for Leos, all right? When it comes to Leos that is watching this, y'all understand what I mean. You feel me? So, because in parentheses I got, y'all trust y'all visions more than what people think reality are. So that's why it plays out like that. Y'all trust y'all visions like that much. I have a very close brother of mine, double Leo. This motherfucker's a natural hustler. He a Cap Rising like me, you feel me? Cap Rising gonna be a natural hustler, but for the most part, he amazes me with how he manifests, and he not even into all of this. But it's like the way that he'll drop a seed on me, drop a vision on me real quick about something he sees, and how he knows realistically that goal don't make sense, and he has in multiple times accomplished that. So he'll have a goal, and my Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising, logical ass, Libra ass is like, I sound creative as shit and you shooting for the stars, but you think you got enough time? You think you got here all my Saturn radars going off, you think you got enough time, or you think you got the resources to really make that happen, realistically speaking? Like, think you could work on that, make it happen. So the sun give birth. So anybody trying to throw reality, sometimes you could be trying to help a Leo. Sometimes you could see a Leo dealing with some form of creativity. They could be like a rapper. They could be something. They could be real talented at something. And you could try to come and play a role in their life, trying to help them manage it, realistically deal with it, help them stabilize it. And they may look at you like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm doing. Chill out. Back up. So that's what we got dealing. Well, that's like the energies we dealing there with the debilitation archetype for Leos. All right, so y'all can find more balance with that from the lucky Libra. Now, when we talk about Uranus debilitated here. All right, Uranus debilitated here. So, what is Uranus? Uranus is our individuality, and wherever Uranus is at in the chart, that's how we cultivate it. That's how we cultivate our individuality in this lifetime. Okay? Uranus gives off a real rebellious and opposing energy by default because it's very individual and it's trying to gain power. So Uranus represents power and control issues. Alright? So, you know, Uranus also represents uniqueness. It's very active. It's transformative, represents transformation. Okay? You can't sit Uranus still. It wants to be innovative, embark on new things. It wants to show people, it shows others that they could bring a newness to the collective. So with Uranus being debilitated in Leo, it can be nerve-wracking or make a Leo uncomfortable dealing with very opposite or rebellious people and circumstances. We gotta understand here, Leo is fixed fire ruled by the sun, so they already be having a fixed vision of how they see things and the potential of how they want things to play out. It's a very futuristic energy. And I just gave you out a little scenario about how my Brody manifests in a certain type of way by not really seeing things in reality, but it's trusting their vision. So with Uranus here, any form of, whenever Leos are in environments where a Leo could be hosting a cookout, and as soon as somebody in the cookout, everything could be harmonious, but as soon as somebody in the cookout is bringing a different weird type of energy or unusual type of energy to cookout, it don't have to be we don't have to quote unquote say it's negative. It's just like the Leo cousin came to the cookout, Leo on the grill, you know, got the music playing, you feel me, family pulling up, then they cousin pull up, and they cousin came with their boombox, and it's like kind of now they cousin is playing their music in a little section of the cookout, and like now it's dividing, now it's like a section, now it's like sections to the cookout. It really was just one big vibe. The Leo consciously had the sun shining light on one vibe right here, entertaining the vibe. It was the source. It was feeling, the Leo was feeling good because it was the source of it. It was giving light to the function, to the form of entertainment. You feel me? Because Leos could be nurturing in an entertainment type vibe. Alright? So yeah, you feel me? Got the apron on, flipping burgers. Now is a whole nother section. Your uncle, cousin then came, and now it's like, yo, you done came and been mad. You mad transformative, doing your whole individual thing. Now you influencing other motherfuckers, aka Aquarius. Like, what's going on with you? Like, damn, like that's uncomfortable. You come and being mad opposite. Like, you couldn't just be a part of my life, of how I saw things, how I was trying to make things play out, how I was trying to lead things through how I was expressing myself, through how I was dancing and flipping burgers and the music I was playing. Like, damn, being mad opposite. So that shit'll drive a Leo nuts. It'll drive a Leo nuts. And if a Leo could pick up that you're doing it on purpose, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. You in a competition. You in a competition now. Fire signs be getting in competition. You don't even know you're in competition with them. Oh man. You really be Aries. Nah, the Aries get in competition with you because it's just mad Mars. Man, Mars, so they'll get in competition with you in different ways. Leo get into outshining you competition. Sagittarius get into motherfucking knowledge and wisdom, ego competition debates with your ass. So this shit be crazy. But so yeah, it's very uncomfortable dealing with people that's mad opposing, mad transformative when Leo was already trying to set the vibe or set the influence of what people was paying attention to, and somebody's coming taking attention away. This is why Leos will get competitive with you, trying to gain attention, go back and forth with you. And this is why Leos also naturally deal with power and control issues in their life with the debilitation of Uranus here, because Uranus is going to deal with, we got to also remember that with these debilitations, we could play these energies out in extremes too. We could play them out in extremes because we don't know how to deal with it when we are dealing with it. So you know, with this type of energy, Leos when they come in contact with people that's super individual or can't align with their vision in some type of way, that could just be uncomfortable. And it's like now Leo feel like they gotta either overexpress to get you to see things or snatch the influence. But yeah, this is what I want to say. This is where they could get competitive. All right, by default, when some type of individuality or something different alright, is starting to shift attention. Now you got a Leo, now you got the Leo. It's like roll bounce. It's like roll bounce. You feel me? Sweetwater, that was his name, Sweetwater, I don't remember. But the dude that was nice, the dude that was like, he was like the king rollerblader in there. Sweetwater, you feel me? He had the fro, you feel me? Think he had a song too. but he would be the Leo. And then when the young dudes, Bow Wow came, and I don't really remember the sequence of that movie. Neptune on the Sunday. That movies be a blur. I don't watch a million of these motherfuckers. But when they come rollerblading, doing their own thing and probably gaining some attention, now Sweetwater, I don't really remember. I'm gonna go back and watch. Sweetwater probably came to them like, oh, y'all trying to do something? Y'all trying to, what's up? So I'm gonna go back. If I go back and watch and see Sweetwater came to them, that was a Leo. Like Leo came like, yo, what you doing? Like, this is my thing. Like, you know who I am? They call me Sweetwater. And I'm crying if that's not, hold on, y'all. I gotta check if that's really his name, because if that's not his name, Sweetwater is mad funny if that's not really his name. Sweetwater Roll. Cass. Sweetness. I don't know where the fuck Sweetwater came from. That sounds like a good brand name for something. Let me write that down. Sweetwater. Capricorn Moon Rising, y'all never know when this come in handy. Never know when this come in handy, man. We live in a Saturn world. Branding and creative business names come in handy. So, all jokes aside, family. So yeah, dealing with super opposing individual energies that just shift the awareness of things, shift the attention of things, especially things that a Leo is trying to influence, can be very uncomfortable and you know, really throw a Leo off. Okay. Fixed fire rule by the sun wants to keep attention on a specific energy or image. All right. This is how Leos become competitive. So yeah, look at me. I'm already speaking my bullets before I get into it. Leos may not want to deal with transformation based off how they see themselves at times. Can be stuck in their own visions. We know Uranus deal with transformation. Okay? And another reason Leo deal with power and control issues is because the way that they're that they don't deal with reality and they trust their visions and rather roll with that. You trusting your visions and how you see things and your creativity, that's not always going to conform into work or the indoctrinations and programs in this reality. Okay, so for the most part, that's natural power and control issues Leos have to deal with more than others, fighting for their creativity and trying to implement that into reality a lot of the times. Okay, but on top of that, Leos, you guys can be stuck in your own visions or the ways you see yourself at times. When it comes to certain things, you got to learn to transform with. AKA, something could work for a Leo. A Leo could be seen a certain way, have a hit song, you know, and then they don't put music out for a while or something, and then they try to replicate how they first song sounded like, and it's like, we know that shit hit, but we want to see something different. We want to transform. In that Leo head a little bit, they might be in their head like, nah, this is it. Trust me, this is it. This gonna slap. So taking advice with things that need to be transformed could come off a little off to a Leo at times too. It could, cause it makes them start feeling like, what's wrong with the way I appear? What's wrong with the way I'm? You feel me? What's wrong with the way I'm already seen? So that's something, Leos, you gotta keep in mind. That you gotta keep that in mind there. Okay. No idea is original under the sun. Is not how you do it, but how it's done. Okay. So Leo, you guys rule the sun. The sun is light awareness, so this is why you guys can naturally fall into levels of popularity and being known a lot, gaining a lot of attention in your neighborhood, in high school or whatever, prom king, prom queen, and then at the same time, you guys can naturally be into what's popular already, and you guys could be into what's popular, or you naturally know the trends of the world, of what's going on with either fashion, music, music industry, hip hop industry, like, yeah, music. You know, what's going on with commerce, what's going on with stocks. Like, you guys are able to stay adept to know what's in the light in the world. And this also could get y'all being a little trendy, being a little bit of hype beast at times, Leo. So y'all go from creating, okay, to at times now just giving new versions to what's around you. So in the same type of way, it's still creative, because that's why I wrote that quote. No idea is original under the sun. It's not how you do it, but how it's done. So you guys get into heavy remix energy, okay? And so yeah, this is what we dealing with, Leos, when we talk about the debilitation of Saturn and Uranus here. This is how we are. You guys are going to be able to gain more clarity to deal with your Achilles heel when dealing with reality, okay, and dealing with things which forms of transformation, or how to cultivate your individuality in this world based off utilizing your creativity and how you see things and how you try to embrace and manifest that vision. All right. And then y'all always end up showing us if you could see it, it could be done. Alright, and that's what y'all here to teach us. Alright, Leos? So, y'all already know what it is, family. It's your guy, Boro, the Lucky Libra, tuning in and tuning out. Y'all make sure tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra, and y'all make sure to tap into my Patreon, where I'm getting into celebrity synastry breakdowns, deeper analysis, monthly classes, and more. Alright, until next time, peace.